Sunday, April 16. Fear God. The purpose of the book of Revelation for our generation is to prepare a people to be ready for Jesus' soon return and to unite with him in giving his last day message to the world. Revelation reveals the plans of God and unmasks the plans of Satan. It presents God's final appeal, his urgent, eternal, universal message for all humanity. Read the Apostle John's urgent end-time appeal in Revelation 14 verse 7. Also have a look at Genesis 22:12, Psalm 89:7, Proverbs 2 verse 5, Ecclesiastes 12 verses 13 and 14, and Ephesians 5 verse 21. What specific instruction does John give us? First of all, Revelation 14 verse 6, saying with a loud voice, "Fear God and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment has come, and worship him who made heaven and earth, the sea, and springs of water." And Genesis chapter 22 verse 12, "And he said, Do not lay your hand on the lad, or do anything to him, for now I know that you fear God, since you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me." And Psalm 89 verse 7. God is greatly to be feared in the assembly of the saints and to be held in reverence by all those around him. Proverbs 2 verse 5, "Then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God." And Ecclesiastes 12 verses 13 and 14. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is man's all. For God will bring every work into judgment, including every secret thing, whether good or evil. And Ephesians chapter 5, verse 21, which says just simply, submitting to one another in the fear of God. What specific instruction does John give us? Well, the Greek New Testament word for fear in Revelation 14, verse 7 is phobeo. Phobeo. It is used here not in the sense of being afraid of God, but in the sense of reverence, awe, and respect. It conveys the thought of absolute loyalty to God and full surrender to his will. It is an attitude of mind that is God-centered rather than self-centered. It is the opposite of Lucifer's attitude in Isaiah 14, verses 13 and 14, when he says in his heart, "I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit on the mount of the congregation on the farthest sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High." Instead, it is the attitude of Christ, who, though, as it says in Philippians 2, 6 and 8, being in the form of God, humbled himself and became obedient to the point of death, even the death of the cross. The essence of the great controversy revolves around submission to God. Lucifer was self-centered. He refused to submit to any authority except his own. Rather than submit to the one upon the throne, Lucifer desired to rule from the throne. Put simply, to fear God is to place him first in our thinking. It is to renounce our self-centeredness and pride and to live a life wholly for him. And it obviously must be important because it's the first of the words out of the mouth of the first angel of the three. Hence, we must take heed. So to finish today, what has been your own experience of fearing God? How would you explain to someone in a positive way why the fear of God is something good? This lesson was read by Dr. Percy Harrold for Christian Services for the Blind. Sponsored by the Sabbath School Department and distributed through Hope Channel Australia, this podcast is also redistributed by Hope Channel Germany, Christian Record Services for the Blind. It is also available on SoundCloud and through multiple podcast distributors, including Apple iTunes. And you can listen and watch at the same time on YouTube. Remember, God is always faithful.